Shout out Bird. Hey. These people do not understand. I'm moving as fast as I can. Sending my prayers to God. He doing whatever he can.
Beautiful people, what's up, man? How y'all feeling? Sour Bona Bros. Man, it's your boy Smith the Speaker. Mannish Monday. Welcome, everyone. Man, hey, whoever watched that last one, appreciate it. Like, it's crazy. Like some of the ones I do get one view, some get 20, some get 60. Man, that last one, I think it popped up like 30, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyway, man, if you're watching, I appreciate it. If you're sharing, even better, really appreciate it. Remember, hit subscribe, hit like, share, do what you do with it. It's just your boy Smith the Speaker hanging out on Mannish Monday, man. Just trying to make sure we get some positivity, some motivation, some education, just some good vibes going out there, man, to the people. Anything, resources, funding, programs, any kind of assistance that is designed for the people that maybe don't even get to them for whatever reasons, because I understand there's a lot of challenges for why some of the helpful things don't get to the people in need. Um, but there's a lot of good energy out there. It's just up to us to make sure we support it and, make sure it gets to where it got to go. Disseminate the information, man. Pass it along. Kick the can down the road. I mean, everybody else does it. We might as well be kicking a can full. Not a half full, but a full can. You know what I'm saying? Of the good stuff. Greetings, people, man. Well, everybody's well, man. Just doing your thing. Deep breath. Let it out, man. Deep breath. One more time. Let them shoulders relax, boy. Man, get that. We all be on the grind. We be tense. We sweat. Traps be tight. Get a deep breath, man. Relax. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the show, man. It's Smith the Speaker. Like I said before, man, we looking for some when we begin in the next month. Hopefully I get some folks on here to come chop it up for 10, 15 minutes real quick. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna stay on track today. Just talking about a couple things that I thought was important to myself. Again, let's just start with the mindful moment. When we talk for me, talking, and I had a conversation with a brother the other day. I think it was like Friday or Saturday, and he was talking about you know, the longevity, the stick to itiveness that it is going to take to change some of the dynamics and systemic um um I hate calling them challenges and I hate calling them burdens, but they're one of them, you got to be in it to win it. And it's going to be basically what he was saying. It's not going to happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying that for a while. We're talking, 300 plus years, depending on how you look at it, um, of changing an ideation, ideology, conditioned bias, muscle memory. Um, and we're trying to change those on the run, on the fly, not just for a few, but a eclectic few that is wide range and everybody kind of wants their share of the change pie or evolution pie. So it's going to take some time. And with all that being said about mindful moment, is everybody knows Nelson Mandela. At least I would hope so. Um, I don't want to get off track, but I had talked to some young brothers maybe 3, 4 years ago who didn't know Nelson Mandela, didn't know Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So I would say everybody should know, but a lot of people don't know. Well, Nelson Mandela, and the reason I thought it was important to understand and connect it with the longevity part is it's easy to see what he did as he got out. And we would think, if you don't know, that he spent 27 years incarcerated by the then government, um, to understand what happened before that, what he was doing, um, you know, creating committees and political activist organizations to fight apartheid. Um, and, spending 20, the crazy part about the incarceration, man, and again, it's all going to tie in, hopefully, I do the show, uh, is he organized strikes, which was against the law. So they issued him a warrant. Let's go figure that one. So then he left the country to go to a conference, um, And since he had a warrant, that was basically him just leaving without permission. So they threw that on there. When he got to try, they try to hit him with sabotage. Basically in the end, they try to hit him with a life sentence, almost a death sentence. He basically just went down fighting. And what all of that said, the time it took for him to not just spend the 27 years incarcerated, but the work he was doing prior to that. And then once he got out and then was elected president, um, well, he was free in 1990, and I was alive then. I was alive. I had just finished high school. Um, but in 1994, once he got out, he was through a democratic process. He was elected the first president of South Africa. It was a big thing. I remember it. I don't remember it well, but I do remember it. I was a young Smith then, so probably not really understanding the historical implications of it. But I was aware. I was fully aware what was going on about that. Um, he did 90. He was free in 90, elected in 94. Um, and then he stepped away, and then he died in 2013. He was 95 years old. And I say all of that to say, let's be mindful of the longevity part. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is going to change overnight. We have to keep at it. We have to endure the process, the journey, the evolution, the work, the tiresome work, the thankless work, the unseen work. Just be mindful. Just keep at it. You know what I'm saying? Keep at it. I don't like this saying, but it makes sense. The slow drip cracks a big boulder. It's true. You know what I'm saying? And the boulder's huge. We know this. So stay at it. Mindful minute, man. Stay at it. Stay at it. Stay at it. Thank you, uh, brother Nelson Mandela, for staying at it. We can wrap up. Same old stuff, man. Sports, politics, just insane. So many on the West Coast, we got rain. That's a big thing out here. You know what I'm saying? We got rain. We got a lot of rain. We got some snow in other parts of the established land here. And I tell you, folks, man, capitalism is a cold cat because rain, snow, hell, folks will go spend money, man. That's the weekend round. People will go spend money. I remember when I started doing cable, I was a cable installer. Um, and I remember, man, this was early 90s. And I think my supervisor said it. Somebody there said it. I believe it was him though. And he was like, because I had said something about like, why do we work on Saturdays? Like, people, man. He was like, hey man, Saturday is National Shop Day. That's what he said. National folks spend money on Saturday, whether they out and about, whether they in the house, especially nowadays, with, Amazon Prime and people buying online like it ain't got no business. Um, National Shop. Folks take Saturday serious. You know what I'm saying? And that is easy to see with the trillions of dollars that's being spent in this particular time. So that's the weekend wrap up. Folks will spend. Capitalism at its finest. Folks will spend. They don't care how far they got to drive. They don't care about lines. They don't care. You don't hear nobody complaining about gas and prices. Uh, Real quick, if I could, about the weekend wrap up. Capitalism, people spending money and don't care. Boy, I'll tell you, the people that's in charge of the political, what you're gonna get to, they know how to put where to put your eyeballs at. I coach football. Eye candy. If you're a defensive coordinator, boy, you better understand eye candy. And crazy, no one complains about gas prices when it's time to go out and shop. With that being said, in my area, they just opened up a fast lane, high occupancy. You have to have three in a car or two in a car at a certain time, and 5 to 8 p.m. But you have to pay to be in that lane. For first, you have to have the fast track, right? This is California, right? Um, and then if you have fast track, then it tells you like how far you can go, what they're going to charge you depending on time. It's going to be, it could change from 50 cents to, $5. So I'm thinking to myself as I seen, I'm like, hold on, wait, I have to pay to drive in that lane over there. And that lane over there is part of the entire roadway that I already pay taxes on, highway road tax, whether it's through gas or some other tax, the state tax, the local city tax, the county tax. I, am I getting swamboozled? I'm not paying. I've already paid. And if I have to stay in this, I'm not going over there. I mean, y'all ain't doing that to me. Capitalism, boy. We got to be more mindful of a mindful minute, man. Be mindful of this tax game. We'll get taxes though. But so that's it. Um, just kick off the week real quick. I know I'm pushing it. I get sidetracked, man. I want to say this about kicking off the week in the right way. Defend your sound reason like you defend your money. Listen, hey, ain't nobody gonna let nobody run up in their house. Ain't nobody gonna let nobody uh take anything of theirs, they property, they belongings, right? Hell, they ain't gonna let you take something they stole. They ain't gonna let you take their money. Don't let people take your sound reason. Think, meditate, control your thoughts. That's what you have. You have the right to have your own thoughts and control them and think on your own. Think on your own. Defend your sound reason like you defend your money. That's how we get the week going. Defend your sound reason, people. You feel me? Let's get into the meat and potatoes. I'm trying to tell you, let's get to the meat and potatoes. Trying to keep it all together about the marathon, staying at it, but then the hypocrisy that we have to deal with to get there. And that's just what I do. I like the game that is played and take pride in announcing it. And everybody knows it, isn't it? I just don't know why people don't talk about it more. I know why, but the meat and potatoes of today is illegal celebrations. What I defend your sound reason. I had put this on one of my outlets the other day, and I said, if some people defended black people like many people defend the Second Amendment, we wouldn't have a problem. We would not have a problem at all. With that being said, it is funny about where we are now. And I talked about this before, just about the interpretation process of human beings. Talked about it like, when I talked last week about what people see. They can see the same thing, but see something totally different. And this is the part that you have politicians, doesn't care what side, I'm just saying, you have politicians who want to pick and choose, good, bad, or indifference, what part of the, now understand this, Congress's lawyers, for the most part, they're lawyers. Their role is law, to construct, to litigate, to legislate. That's what Congress is there for. The Supreme Court is to adjudicate said laws from the umbrella framework of the Constitution. Now, this is what I'm getting to. Talking about a marathon to stay with it. Let's just talk about, because this is the First Amendment. I'm going to read it. Congress shall make no law respecting establishment of religion, prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievance. Everyone knows that. They know freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right to protest. The part that irritates me is the very beginning. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Meaning, you can't, it says it verbatim. We're not going to make any law respecting the establishment of religion, but here we are celebrating December 25th. I have so many people when I'm out and about want to hit me with Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I'm like, man, miss me with that. I'm not illegal. I'm not a crime. I'm not a criminal. You know what I'm saying? and not to just say that, but then the doubling down aspect of the celebration in April, right? Holidays, places shut down, oppressed workers are giving paid days off. Now, again, we're talking capitalism, and we're talking about our law, our written law, which without it, without the Constitution, you really don't have a country. You don't have a nation. Well, you have a nation, but you don't have a what's the word? Countries are designed by their autonomy to to um work alone by themselves, but you need some kind of written laws, right? So without that, what we know as the United States of America isn't really essentially the United States of America without it. But then here we have this called the Establishment Clause, or the Free Exercise Clause, whichever one you want to choose. For me, is establishment. Um, it bars the government from establishing a religion. Now, think about this. That's number one. Number two is, if that is the case, you have the operation of the division of church and state. But when I say I'm not a criminal, you go into any courtroom and you have to testify, what they doing? Breaking out a Bible. You got to swear to it. You have to swear. Who are you swearing to? I'm not a religious cat. I'm not. I'm proud of it. Don't get me wrong. I've been in a church, been in a few, been in many, been in many, been in many. Not going back. I know a lot of pastors. Can't get no problems with them. I know what I know what's going on. I ain't got no problems with them. Do what you do. I'm stay over here mind my business. I'm just saying, we are in a time where it is almost, you can count on it like clockwork, that people are going to have their interpretations of what is lawful and what is not. Think about what we're doing right. Well, oh, not me. In Venezuela, and it's not your boy Smith, the speaker. Think about what's happening in the country of Venezuela, right? Off their waters. The convoluted nonsense of who owns the water. Think about what just happened with this whole Gulf of Mexico. That's what it is. Now they want to call it the Gulf of America or whatever. Again, man is trying to formulate and say, this is mine. So therefore, we can't do this. But I'm going to do this because we can. So if you think about the interpretation, the illegal celebrations, think about what's going on in Venezuela. One government is actively, overtly attacking property of another country because it allegedly has drugs in it. Now, I don't know if it does or it doesn't. But my point is, from the Constitution, I didn't get into it, but I'm just trying to bring it all together as far as like this ambiguity this world of lawless laws that we live in. The president can't just say, oh, yeah, you know what? Hack these people. It's not war. We're defending ourselves from these people with drugs. And I had said this to my son. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I seen a video of the one boat being blown up. Boat, come on, man. Come on, man. That is like smashing an ant, and you have a 10-foot ant hill outside your house, and you just smash one. Right? What are we doing? We're not at war. We're just protecting ourselves. If we have to go to war, Congress is supposed to authorize that. But if we're not at war, then we can kind of just do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about you know, the treason part, because that again is up in the air. Let's go back, marathon. Let's go back to Nelson Mandela, right? That was kind of true. They was saying he was did some treason. Like you can't do that, right? And then think about January 6th here. Now, either that's treason or that is a clear example of petitioning the government, filing for regress. But people got killed. The hypocrisy, the hypocrisy of this establishment that we reside in, named the United States of America, is hilarious. I don't celebrate December 25th. I may look like the gentleman that they celebrated for, but I don't celebrate it. I don't celebrate what happens in April. I really don't celebrate any holidays, but I really don't do those. Those are egregious outward acts of criminal violation. Say what you want. Now, hey, oh, you're just a hater because you don't love Jesus. I'm not a hater. I mean, if we're going by the law of the land, are you gonna? Can you argue with me? Can you if that unless you want to interpret it a different way? I don't know. And that's one of the things like the interpret what how do you interpret that in any other way? Is it saying uh we can say what we want? So if we can say what we want, then it's okay for us to pray to this particular. Well, that does say that. Can't a bridge can't stop somebody for identifying a religion. But what it is saying is that the government cannot identify and establish any particular religion. But you find it all throughout this country how uh, words only matter when they're relevant to the argument, to the case, to the cause. You know what I'm saying? That, my friends, is why it's going to be a marathon to change, to actively be engaged in a revolution that removes the hypocrisy, removes the ambiguity, removes the opportunity for interpretation. Because there's so many things that could be interpreted one way or another, depending upon what side of the cause you are on. Therein lies the challenge. The meat and potatoes, Mannish Mondays. That's what it is, man. The illegal celebrations. Your boy Smith the Speaker, will not partake in any of that. I'll eat the food whoever's cooking. I mean, you invite me, I'm eating. I'm not bringing no capitalistic items that would say that I purchased something for someone. You know what I'm saying? If you want to send me a capitalistic item that shows your dedication to, that's fine. I'm accept it. You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be rude not to. I'm a very polite individual. So I'm not gonna say, yeah, get that capitalistic Eurocentric shit up out my face. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say, oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Put it over there or whatever. Open it up. I don't know. But as far as celebrating, yeah, it's not your boy. Not what I'm gonna do. That was Mannish Monday. It's your boy Smith the Speaker, man. Look, Be safe wherever you are. Um, I don't like calling people weirdos, but people who think differently are everywhere. They're everywhere. They are right next door. They are everywhere. So you just got to be mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? Just be safe. Keep yourself safe. What I say, defend your sound reason. Defend your sound reason like it's your money, like it's your capital. You dig? Beautiful black people. It's that time to get up out of here. Before I do, I want to say, make sure if you can, in a safe way, in a productive way, have a conversation with someone that doesn't look like you, someone that doesn't sound like you. And if you shut up and listen, you just might learn something. Beautiful black people. Till next time, I love you, Sawabona.
Shout out Bird. Hey. These people do not understand. I'm moving as fast as I can. Sending my prayers to God. He doing whatever he can.